Welcome to this powerful Stoic journey, where we explore the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. In this video, we'll delve into key Stoic teachings that have shaped some of the greatest minds in history, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus. Whether you're looking to master your emotions, unlock your true potential, or simply find tranquility in a chaotic world, Stoicism has a practical and transformative approach. We begin by learning how to never get angry or bothered by anyone, a lesson rooted in Stoic control over our emotions and responses. Then, we'll immerse ourselves in the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, gaining insights on how to achieve strength and tranquility amidst life's struggles. Next, we explore Stoic rules to conquer the day, unlocking the secrets to productivity, focus, and mastery over our daily habits. And finally, we'll uncover what Stoics don't do and why these practices are essential for leading a virtuous, balanced life. Through these lessons, you'll learn how to integrate Stoic principles into your own life, enabling you to build resilience, mental clarity, and lasting peace. So, sit back, relax, and let's unlock the transformative power of Stoicism together. Think of someone insulting you, disrespecting your work, and being generally rude to you openly. The first feelings and reactions that come to your mind: anger, frustration, maybe even a desire to get back at that fool. But consider the possibility of never getting fazed by such actions. Sounds impossible, right? Well, the Stoics mastered this, and today I'll show you exactly how you can too. Anger is one of the most destructive emotions a person can have. Anger is a huge hindrance because it can be led to a multitude of negative effects, such as poor decision-making, relationship deteriorations, and giving power to adversaries. Constructively channeling these emotions stem from ancient Stoic beliefs, courtesy of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who claimed that reining one's emotions is the hallmark of true endurance. This video will equip you with skills that will aid in transforming your mindset in a way that will be immune to the actions of others. Let's dive in. First, insults have been reframed. The power of perception. To put it best, Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Take a moment to think about it. Insults only hurt because we choose to allow them to. The next time someone offers something offensive, ask yourself, is this really about me? The chances are that most of people's negativity stems from their own strife and not your value. Practice viewing insults as just that, meaningless words that hold no relevance or real power over you. The next time someone offends you, take a breather and tell yourself, this is their issue, not mine. It's astounding how fast the anger dissipates when you can control your thoughts. Second, manage and overlook what you can't. One of the most impactful lessons taught by Stoic philosopher and ex-slave Epictetus is learning the power of separating what is in your control and what isn't. An example of something that is out of our control are other people's expressions, actions, or opinions. But each and every one of those is met by a form of a response that we pick. When you reach this sort of practicality, the endeavors you forget and direct focus towards become substantially more constructive, making for your peace of mind. Instead, ask yourself, the next time someone makes you frustrated, is this something I can do something about? If the answer is no, learn how to let go. 3. Negate visualizations. This will sound strange to you, but Stoics assert that one should always be prepared for worst-case scenarios. Preparing one's mind for insults, criticisms, and better yet, awaiting disrespect means that when these even arise, the impact isn't that large. Marcus Aurelius did this daily, reminding himself, Today I will encounter people who are selfish, rude, and arrogant, but I will not allow their negligence to disturb my peace, and therefore I will remain unfazed. In the mornings, give yourself a reminder that with each day come innumerable forms of negativity, and thus you should make it a point to rise above it all every single time. 30 seconds of self-talk, first thing in the morning, for what's in store for you, goes a long way. 4. Withstand provocation. Ruthless indifference is actually lethal, however. It is one of the greatest stinging actions one can take. Give yourself a break from displays of affectations. It's on real display when one doesn't even care to fend back when placated. This is why Stoic thinkers become agitated when they witness such quietness. Your ability to slow outpour of emotions incites the greatest irritation out of anyone. By masking anger and decreasing the frequency to which one reacts, the culprit to snipe falls asleep. Instead of giving life to antagonist visions, succumb to defeat. Think of it this way: rather than playing out vivid visuals laden with life where a statement is snatched from the trigger, picture life devoid of scenarios. It is then and only then one finds searing power, real power. Number 5. Cultivate your mind through training discipline on a daily regimen. The Stoic way functions both as a life philosophy. To become an unmovable rock, you need to train your mind on a daily basis. Meditate, self-critique through journaling, learn to introspect. Greater self-awareness makes it increasingly tougher for others to alter your emotions. Make it a habit to journal every night. Record instances of where you could feel anger surfacing and think of how you could have reacted differently. Eventually, there will be a noticeable shift in your emotional responses. Effortlessly staying unfazed and unbothered by anyone or anything is fully achievable through self-perception control, unyielding focus, and mental discipline. It is fundamental to keep in mind that no person has automatic control over you unless you let them. I have a challenge for you. For the next week, try to stay utterly relaxed whenever you are provoked. From there, observe not just the difference in their behavior, but how much more control you now possess. After the 7 days are over, return here so you may leave your comments and your observations. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you receive all fresh content the second it comes out. Let's keep going on this path of controlling our being through accepting the teachings from Stoicism. I will see you in the following video. Marcus Aurelius focuses each moment on the single thing right in front of him. You are not required to transform this. It does not need to infuriate you. We will either live in the present or lose it. Let's stop for a second and ask ourselves, why am I so afraid of death? The actions you take are dictated by the quality of your thoughts. Imagine the things in life you still need to do. How would a dying person approach them? The point in my life when I escaped anxiety was when I realized that I was the very center of my own worries. The place I occupied, not the outside, was the source of my problems. You are the creator of your own life. You put it together step by step. Complacency is not a trait to admire. What prevents action improves action. What gets in the way turns to be the root. We rise above our enemies by refusing to act like them. Apathetic behavior is also a form of behavior that inflicts injustice. Remembering without pride is a virtue. Giving up without attaching is wisdom. If it must be endured, then endure it. Have you done anything heroic? If yes, you partake in the rewards. While we all hold a prominent importance in ourselves over others, it's safe to say that we tend to value the perspective of others more than our individual viewpoint. Has this come to pass? Sadly, it's fortunate I've been traumatized in no way at all. When it's not correct, do not do it. When it's not the truth, do not utter it. You have the choice not to hold a single opinion on anything. Consider at all times, does this have any significance? If something can be done by a human being, then you can do it as well. Take your thoughts of oneself as deceased. You've experienced your existence, now reclaim what remains and live it wisely. I'm not flattered by somebody, that's their issue. Inactivity and motion both give birth to everything. Your control lies within your mind, not the incidents around you. When shaken inescapably by context, withdraw immediately to yourself and do not lose the flow more than is controllable. You may abandon living at this very minute, so let that dictate what you say, do, or think. In essence, if you may control your life through anything, that is, if you leap into action without any reservations or limits, then life is yours to take. It's easy to dramatically change your life if you permit yourself to. If you are not clear about what you want to achieve within a specific period, then you put yourself at risk of wasting portions of your existence. Focus exclusively on the now. There is a calmness that arises when you stop concerning yourself with what people say, think, or even do, and instead focus on what actions you are taking. Everybody has something to offer. Why do you decide to place a cap on your contributions? Reading and writing is done by a boss and is rarely ever done by a master. To gain mastery is to struggle for freedom, happiness, tranquility, and the struggle indeed can be intense. It is a divine task. Resist allowing others to pull you in fully their direction. Everything that a blazing fire is fed turns into flame and brightness. The greatest form of love comes with no strings attached. If there is something for you to love, then love it. You can do the same thing if it is humanly possible. Choose to not to allow yourself to be harmed. Set your mind upon the act of not feeling harmed, of not feeling, and you will find yourself having never been harmed. Procrastination has never done anything good for other, so do not mix up feeling hurt and your act of expanding your awareness, wondersome or active. Never drown yourself in business. Embrace the cards that fate has dealt you and reimagine them into something unique. Anything that seems hard, tackle it head on. Most of the time we cannot control certain things that rile us up, so it is best we do not allow such emotions. The purpose of existence is oneself's self. Those who appear closer to destruction are more leveled up, and the further away from it, the more stronger a person possesses. On the contrary, operating on the premise of responding to every matter as it arises is not only lack of productivity, but also a source of unhappiness. As a summation of the Stoic philosophy, Epictetus comes down to persisting and resisting, which means there exists a set of things that you ought to initiate doing, a set that you need to continue doing, and then there is a group of activities that you need to curtly cease undertaking. Almost 15 years I have written and discussed Stoic philosophy while traveling to prominent places like the NBA, the NFL, the Special Forces, and other places where former sitting senators reside. I created multiple videos on what a Stoic ought to do. This episode focuses on what Stoics don't do, so let's get started. In this episode, I will enumerate the tasks that don't constitute the life of a Stoic. Firstly, the most important as I see it, don't fear change. Like any rational human, Stoics do not ignore their fears, varying from fear of death, or heights, or snakes. But a Stoic's greatest fear of many is to be afraid of change. Mark Seneca claims that all things are born from change, and unlike many, Seneca claims that everything changes. Everything excellent that ever happened in your life was the consequence of a transformation. While tuxedoing a Stoic, he is always prepared. They are unfazed by change. Mark's surrealist in meditation carries a quote, "What am I going to do about tomorrow?" He replies, "I am going to deal with it the same way as I did today." You are able to tell what you have encountered and what your threshold is, therefore, there's no reasonable blame to put on you for fearing change. You don't need to grasp to try and force everything into a constant state of monotony. Part of the Stoic way of being indifferent doesn't mean apathy, but signifies equilibrium. There is no desire for change of any kind, to the extent that a Stoic prepares themselves to the extent that they don't even have to pretend that shift control is a must requirement. A Stoic will remain indifferent to choosing what the weather looks like tomorrow. Is it going to be hot or cold, rainy or beautiful? Are people going to love them or hate them? They have set duties, solutions to follow, and whatever happens, happens, because a Stoic doesn't fear change. Neutral, right? Because anything life can throw at us is within our control. 2. Don't worry too much about things which are not that important. While a lot of activity transpires every day, every minute, the case is most of it is trivial, right? Marcus really states that you're best off not focusing more than you should on trivial issues. Simply put, don't worry too much about things which are not that important, correct? The things which are beyond your control, the things which do not aid you in achieving your goals in life, the things which require your attention but diverts your focus from what you are supposed to do, you must block it out. We discussed this in some of the other videos. The concept that you need to form an opinion about this is absent. You are free to not even think about it. You can dismiss it. You can concentrate on what is pertinent, and is often the question, is this necessary? Does it matter? And if it does not, what do? You ignore it. 3. Do not be quick to value the opinion of others more than that of yourself. When someone chooses to criticize me, I conduct this exercise for Marcus. You realize that he conveys, instead, reflect on this specific individual. Dwell on what they just enrolled themselves into. Contemplate their identity. Ponder the things which affix their appetite. Assess their lifetime achievements, and now come to the conclusion that this kind of a person whose opinion would have had more weight than your own self-evaluation is in fact much worse than meaningless. They form the exact antithesis of the person you want to morph into. This is why it is great that they disapprove of all the effort you put in, because their approbation is the last thing you are seeking. Concentrate on your thoughts. Focus on the identity you wish to assume, as do we love ourselves more than other people. But there is a catch. We tend to put high value on perspectives which are different than our own, and that is a stark case of insanity. You need to shift the emphasis to who you are, to your inner IP, to your rooted identity, for that is how you gauge yourself, not the idiocy of strangers, not the irrelevant sentiments from people whom, as a matter of fact, you do not hold any esteem. Don't try to get even with a person. To a Stoic, revenge is unnecessary. Marcus Aurelius stated it best. It's not meant to be like that, and this individual has gone through coup d'etat, has been lied about Mark, and was under constant attack, right? Said the best revenge is to not be like the person who wronged you. Seneca says that we get angry about things, but how ridiculous that is. He says you never return a kick to a mule or a bite to a dog. A Stoic realizes that with all that we do, who we are, there will always be an attack, a chance for someone to criticize us, get hurt by people, things, and so on. What a Stoic does not understand or chooses to ignore is the need to get how do you put it, vengeance, need to get even, get your pound of flesh taken away from you. You do something to someone, and what they did to you does not matter. You didn't get injured by it, and you can move on, and with loosened grip are going to be all right. Let it go. 5. Do not dig up under. The first thing people do when they wake up is check if there is a new text message, if there is new email, so they're turning themselves into an item on someone else's checklist. Living life through the lens of social media is unhealthy, for one's well-being is gauged on the thumbs up or down by the inputs pouring in like tweets, messages, or news updates on what's happening. You have to basically take time out from an endless stream of streams. You need to stop feeling like a puppet whose every move is controlled by the person pulling its strings, so that you can have a say in the direction your life is headed. It is also about being in a positive mental space. If you want to wake up and be productive, the morning hours need to be managed proactively. Your day should not be dictated by external factors. More importantly, the news. Reducing your dependency will undeniably improve the quality of your life. 6. Don't be so accessible. There is a fascinating story of Napoleon, who categorically refused to open his mail until after 3 weeks he had received it. Most issues, he learned, solved themselves. And if you're reachable 24/7, then you are most likely going to needlessly overexert yourself. You won't be able to abandon your self-imposed activities. Think of Marcus realists doing something in Epictetus or Seneca fashion, to constantly be answering things as they come, to be on top of everything simultaneously, is not only unproductive, it is a recipe for a disaster. Having the freedom to not know what every single is going on is nice, and the fact that you can be interrupted at any time while working is also detrimental. Heed Napoleon's instruction, sleep with the phone in another room, leave the phone in there when you have something serious to accomplish, and you really do not want to be that involved. 7. Maintain neutrality. When did it become a must for you to let this affect you? These are the parting words of Marcus Greeley, and it is that you do not need to take it personally. Perception is optional. He said it's refreshing to acknowledge how much inaction exists which is available to us. Is it more liberating to let affairs move like the wind? During Buddhism, the talk of thoughts which comes about use is one that resembles clouds. You do not have any obligation to cement. You are free to leave and rest assured. There's no need for you to reply if you do not want to. I wish to reiterate that for your sake. This does not have to bother you. So take a deep breath and let it go. 8. Avoid seeking validation from others. According to Epictetus, seeking validation from another is tantamount to surrendering, since you have willingly ascribed your happiness, purpose, and autonomy to someone else. Imagine trying to conceivably control everything and put yourself in a position where your success, wealth, or even happiness depends on other people. This is when everything goes wrong. Bones becomes a life choked up in the hands of other people, and the only time it becomes blissful is when the people shower appreciation. But just take a second and ponder. What happens when the tables turn? What if the so-called crowd is wrong? Or what if the current times value the wrong attributes? Thus, Epictetus emphasizes the need to shift focus inwards and come up with one's own standards. Imagine how an individual might help themselves revisit what matters the most to them, a personal scorecard. A Stoic does not depend on other people, external metrics or arbitrary things to define their happiness, success and existence. These are the kind of things that are found internally. Philosophy is not a dry and tedious discipline to Epictetus. Rather, it is an entity that should be discussed, written about, read and shared with other people. He advised that you should repeat the things you want to remember. That is how I regard philosophy, and it is strange. I have spent the past 5 years writing an email about Stoic philosophy every single day. Meeting these fellow mask holders of Stoic philosophy has always been remarkable. But what has been more astonishing is that while my fellow podcasters and I discussed, wrote and read about Stoic philosophy with and for the podcast, I was able to assimilate these concepts in a manner that was practically impossible under any other conditions. That's the core principle. Engaging with philosophy should be a part of your day-to-day life, not locked within moth-eaten books which are only opened once. It is a never-ending cycle. It's time for change. Allowing the overwhelming talented being inside of you to be dormant is a crime. You have emotions. Use them. No future day must come when you have to utter, "I wish I had previously tried harder." Freedom in today's world means you can choose not to get out of bed. In the next 24 hours, take stock of how life-changing every moment can actually prove to be. Remember that we are not spending time. We are spending our lifetime, and you only get one shot in life. Stop complaining, and if at all, lose 5 pounds of negativity, and you shall notice how quickly human growth is endless. You could be winning a medal for the lack of hardest work in progress, but in reality, the description is as delightfully sweet as the undertaba of an apple. The demeanor of partaking in something as challenging as this reward will most likely turn out to be very satisfying. Have full faith that by managing yourself today, you are creating an autonomous tomorrow. The possessing unduly substances that follow tomorrow is none of your business. Having the option ever in the future to live like the undiscerning crowd, would anyone relish in the idea? Life is an ever-longing, flickering candle in an abyss, and wasting it is the only guarantee to freedom. Out of the ordinary, use it all while you still have the potential. Everything that presents itself to you, cherish it like a loving being with open limbs, and you will enjoy an extraordinary life that abounds anything that the mundane crowd expects. It is indeed a blessing to be alive. Stand up now to deprive and seduce life, and experience freedom from every obtained gift that makes life worthwhile. A person who has a plan and direction will succeed far more than someone who does not. Ask yourself these simple questions. How do you want to feel at the end of the day before beginning it? Your talents are based on your concentration. Make sure there are no distractions, as they will limit you. Don't sell yourself short. External things will not overpower you from today. You will choose courage and virtue over cowardice and vices. They can do anything to you, but they can never take your power to choose how to respond. If there are no challenges, there wouldn't be any motivations to improve. We would never be able to find out how strong we really are. If you have any problems, it means there is a hero in you. The people you come across may present difficulties, but they shouldn't disturb your calmness and kindness. Individually, we are talented, but as a team, we are united. Take a moment and look at all these. We have no time to waste. Bring out the finest efforts you can.